Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a Group 32 Game 1 race between Neminva, Eat My Steel, and Zugman. These three runners are going to fight it out 3 times to try and get as many points as possible to get into the next round. I'm Furious K alongside Moonrisen Phoenix.
Good
This,
evening, everyone.
yeah, this should be a fun one. I think these runners are fairly equal.
Yeah, it's pretty even seating throughout, and we should see a good one here.
Looks like we're going to get started right away. Not too far from vanilla start. Let's see which way they decide to go, as both are fairly viable. One will lead you towards open caves and a few Armos checks, while the other one will lead you almost strictly to Armos checks early on, with the northeast corner being the biggest glut of open caves that direction.
'98 for the arrows there, and not cheap bait either at '89.
Yep, so we're going to be looking at some expensive items in the shop, but we don't know what kind of secrets we have yet. We just found our small 18, but it's not going to be the most important one to find, or the most important value-wise.
It's still a good roll considering max is 20. There's the large roll at 91, bit under average.
Yeah, but still doable. It's no 50 or 60 range large secret, so we'll have enough money to buy most of what we need if we can find all three reasonably. First Armos check for Eat My Steel. Looks like it's not going to be the answer, but it will be a take any one. This early on, I think you take the candle, because you haven't found the candle shop yet, and you don't want to miss out on burn bushes going this direction, or even towards your starting location.
Nothing wrong with an early candle. And we find our first dungeon at level 7 right at the start.
Unsurprisingly, Eat My Steel is just going to leave immediately. Second Burn Bush also has a cave. This one is level 3. May check a few rooms of this one just to make sure there's not a freebie, but with Dark Nuts in here in this room, it's going to be Candle Boost to get your key and maybe leave. Nope, he's going to make it all the way through.
We also have Zugman getting their blue candle by buying it. I believe around 70 rupees.
Yep. Minva's already up to 200 rupees and has the blue candle from the Take Anyone as well. We do have cheap bombs, only 8 rupees, so that's going to be a fairly good purchase for the runners. I think Zugman's going to load up with all 8 bombs for that price. Looks like Eat My Steel is going to try and clear this room. It could be a transport staircase, it could be an item staircase, or it could just be a prank, I suppose.
Good old Linus in the overworld. That'll be a fun one.
Well, it's not a full-on prank. We have the compass that says one room south is where the Triforce is, and it's rolling down with these priority Tektites. These blue Tektites rolled to the top of the group, so if you keep clearing the room, you'll be able to clear them and get the Triforce, and that's exactly what it looks like Eat My Steel is going to try and do. You may check the shutter door, though, since he cleared this room, and the bubbles will mean that they will not come back.
However, he did find a Triforce, as Zugman also finds a door repair. First Triforce of the night, goes to Eat My Steel, finds one in level 3.
Looks like with the key in hand, he's going to take a quick peek in level 7, maybe trying for the same thing. The dongos in the first room won't be clearable until he finds the cheap bombs. Zugman, meanwhile, has found level 4. There's a whole bunch of little gels in the T of that T room, but we could opt to try and reset that room a little bit, try and get all the gels on the outside just to see if there's a Triforce drop, because it will drop on the bottom right corner in level 4 specifically. Looks like we have
finding the recorder.
Yeah, we have the recorder as the Armos item, so useful item once we get some Triforces to move around the overworld. Also going to be able to clear the Dig Doggers and dungeons. And we do have that one pesky overworld block. It might be at Recorder Lake. Otherwise, we'll need a Raft or Power Bracelet. Looks like Zugman with his 8 bombs is going to route up towards potentially Eastern Death Mountain. There is that one open cave up there. If it happens that that's where the wood sword is in the seed, and he'll have quite the early advantage. Looks like we had a 35 medium secret, so it did roll reasonably well. Looks like that's level 6 on Zugman's side.
At northwest corner. Well, not quite corner, but we're close enough.
Looks like Niminva is just kind of tracing his steps right behind him. Now has found this level 4. Probably going to try and work his way up into Death Mountain, potentially, or could just go west Death Mountain with the amount of bombs that they have. Keys are not too bad in terms of pricing. I think they're both one rolled slightly up and one rolled quite a bit down, so it doesn't matter which one you go for. It's going to basically be about the same cost in the end. Eat My Steel, though, cannot get away from this Armos that he set off, so won't be able to check that cave for his wood sword.
And Niminva getting their recorder.
Just taking the free health refill from that level 4 and gonna head back the way they came a little bit here. Maybe trying to get up this little path. I'm still checking just to make sure the game hasn't glitched out. They went for the blue ring, but obviously about 20 some odd rupees short of that purchase. Zugman finds level 9 by the bomb spot in the corner of the map here, the northeast corner.
Door repair is 19 rupees this run.
Still haven't found that wood sword. We've started to cover a lot of the caves in this overworld, so it might be close to that coast shop or somewhere down in the eastern forest area. we've not checked Recorder Lake just yet. That could be the sword location, but it seems kind of rare for that to be the answer. Some of these runners are going into dungeons now, trying to find potentially a free combat item, since it's kind of difficult to find items in the overworld. Hopefully that won't put them too far behind the wood sword if it doesn't pay out in the dungeons for them. We do have potential here for Niminva. 2 rooms in, there's a room full of keys with a single push block, so this could be a transport or item staircase, or again, could be nothing. This time it won't have a floor drop in this room.
Not a thing in that room, unfortunately.
Now, this room you can probably go for it if you so desire, but it's not going to yield you an item. It's just going to force you to go back through the shutter door. I think I might just try and bomb the wall and see if you can't find your way out of here, maybe to the south, since there was a room. I believe there's a room to the south on the other room that he was just in. Nope. Just gonna say no thanks. Keep my steel, meanwhile, found level 8 while we were watching Niminva's screen. Looks like once again, Eat My Steel has found a room where there's decent enough priority. These Vires did roll up at least 1 HP though, so you're not going to be able to get bombs off of them until you get potentially both Magical Sword and Wand to be able to do 6 points of damage in one swing. Looks like Eat My Steel found that level 8 on the screen he died on earlier.
We have our first check at Recorder Lake, and Zugman finds a sword.
Well, that's a rare sight there. We've seen a lot of red candle blocks of the wood sword, but I don't think I've seen one with a flute just yet. So now might be a better time for Zugman to decide to go into some of these dungeons and look around a little bit more. What I've seen, we've seen a lot of the higher end dungeons. I believe we've seen 6, 7, 8, and 9. I think we've also seen 3 and 4, so there's a chance that 1 or 2 are going to be blocked by overworld blocking item.
Meanwhile, Niminva finding Floor Heart in level 3. Cost item sadly negligible at this point.
So the question's going to be, how long does it take Eat My Steel to get back over there? He's probably the furthest away. I feel like Niminva's not too far away. Eat My Steel does find level 1 though, which is up in this crossroads screen. And the power bracelet's in level 3, so we might be able to knock out more overworld blocks at this point. Down to just 2 spots up there that can block the runners out of dungeons. Wonder how many more open caves Eat My Steel has to go. It seems like he's cleared quite a few of them. I don't think he's seen Death Mountain. I think it was just Zugman that had gone that direction.
Speaking of Zugman, they've also found Triforce piece number 3.
Yep, so Zugman's the first to complete level 3 and not have to go back anymore.
A little bit of rubies left on the floor there by Eat My Steel.
Yep. Another take any one, though, now up to 66% chance at the white sword item, which could also be the only thing blocked. Gonna guess that Eat My Steel's kind of looking for that blue ring, although I would consider buying arrows with this much money since you're likely to get mugged in one of these doors eventually. So now every runner has their 5th heart container, all on equal footing as far as whenever they find the white sword item. Looks like Eat My Steel is going to go up to the Death Mountain Cave most likely. May also have to check level 1 still.
Messed up by Meninva there. Looking to check a burn bush north of Vanilla 1 and running into their own fire.
There's the blue ring pickup for Eat My Steel. So it's level 2 or white sword potentially?
To answer a question in chat as to which arm most the recorder was under, it was the room with 10 of them, and it was under the second one.
Well, we've now officially seen every single level.
As Zuckerman finds the prescription under the level 6 power bracelet spot.
Looks like Eat My Steel at 20 minutes is finally going to eliminate the last check on the board. It's always a bad feeling when you don't pull sword fairly early in these seeds, but so far it doesn't look like he's lost too much progress on his opponents. Both Zugman and Niminva are fairly limited in their exploration. But we find silvers, though. It's in level 2, so that's a big item find for Niminva. So we've got 2 runners on more defense now, it appears, as Zugman, I believe, has had his sprite change colors. No, perhaps I was wrong. It's just his starting one, so cancel that. I thought I saw a different coloration. Chat did too, so we both got pranked. Still on green tunic.
We've also got a sighting of the magical sword. It is on the southern coast at the second cave.
Well, it's just going to be a question of what dungeon do the runners want to dive into at this point. Looks like Zugman's going to go into level 2, which is a reasonable play, given it's a lower numbered dungeon. We'll have fewer rooms per item get. He might still making the same decision. Niminva's already been in here and gotten the silvers out, so they have less than 7 to come directly back.
Eat My Steel fighting 4 heart there.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that, Niminva's just not gonna worry too much about his wood sword anytime soon. Just gonna keep trying to get through as many dungeons as possible and hope for a free item instead. It's trolled a little bit by the flute since it's trying to cycle it into a bomb, but no harm, no foul. Wonder if up until that point they had forgotten about picking up the flute. May clue in now that they have their wood sword buried. Looks like Eat My Steel's going to try and progress through this Gliok room. See if the Triforce was here. It was not, though. Instead, Zugman finds the Triforce in 2. So from level 2 to potentially level 1 for Zugman. Try and get some of these doors open, perhaps. Or continue? I'm not sure exactly. Maybe just pirouetting this way. In order to pirouette that door open, you have to go north. Going left won't do it. Speaking of pirouetting north, looks like Eat My Steel has found his way into this level 1 as well. Got quite the trolley loop map for level 1. They have to start in that linear portion and bomb down to get any progress.
Got a staircase for Zugman, as well as Eat My Steel. We should see an item shortly.
Not the best item to find, but Zugman's already getting close to potential for a Mag's pickup. It's very unlikely at 10, but by the time we get around to 12 or 13, perhaps it's viable enough to consider checking. We do have a mugger, but you don't have to pay this mugger. You can literally just walk past it and bomb to the left, since it's the only spot you have to go. Unfortunately, Zugman just walks straight through the heart container. This is a rather annoying combat room. Unfortunately, that clock was also in the wall. If it wasn't so deep in the wall, I think you could grab it and go ahead and finish off everything else in the room except for the potential wall master.
Tough sequence for Zugman there. Gets taken down.
This Aquamanus room is a drop, but it's just a key for now. I still set a pretty healthy key count here. Just gonna try and just head the way that the compass is and see if the item's on the way. It doesn't look like he picked up the floor drop, seeing as he's turned around now and is going back to the western part of this old one. Losing a heart container does limit your chances of getting enough hearts to ever get the magical sword, so I wouldn't say that Zugman did himself any favors by taking that penalty, but probably just wasn't thinking about it. Oh, if you've already obtained it, if that was what the question was, then no. You can go down to as few hearts as you need to after you've already obtained it, it still works. This narrow single block room that Eat My Steel's in is also dropping 1, so it could be the potential floor drop.
Take any. Gets an 8 heart.
Oh, Meet My Steel has found a fun room. We're not going to clear this one. We're just going to run through and hope like heck it's not there.
That room just reeks of bad day.
He's not clearing it. So he either picked up an item and is bailing, or is just deciding he's bailing. Yep, red candle. He cycled his inventory. Gets the bomb drop and the Triforce pickup out of 1, so it's number 3 for Eat My Steel. Zubin should be able to get to the Triforce. He may not be able to get to the red candle because of how trolly the room is before that.
I believe all 3 of our runners tonight have now located level 9.
Looks like level 5 was just north of level 1. Because Eat My Steel is now founded as well. We'll see if Eat My Steel opts into digging level 5 or if it just decides to bail after pirouetting and finding nothing. Eat My Steel decided to lose the heart? Yes. This mugger looks more likely to have been required. Unfortunately, we actually have found a room where we're either ladder blocked and have to go right, or this wasn't the answer at all and we gave up a heart for nothing. Well, outside of potentially a map, I would say? Nope, just nothing. You lose. Those just joining, this is race 1 of 3 potential races between these 3 runners. 4 points for first, 3 points for second, 2 points for third, and the bye is automatically fourth.
Top 2 will advance to the second round group stage, and meanwhile, Zugman finds Triforce number 1.
Now the question chat about the muggers, I believe there are up to 3. I want to say it's 3 in this flag set. I know it's definitely 3 once you get into second quest shenanigans, so it's likely that that's the number across the board.
We have Eat My Steel finding a transporter stairs. And
yeah, we both had the same view at the same time. Nim at 34 minutes of change now has Wood Sword. Seeing the good use of the red candle there for Meet My Steel. Fires are a bit trolly with their roll up, and the Vire piece also appear to have rolled up, so red candle does a lot of damage to that specific scenario. Also can help with killing off likes and having them just bounce without any threat of taking you and potentially taking your big shield if you bought that. Troll push block for Eat My Steel in level 5. Nim in level 1. Believe that they've seen Staircase since it wasn't too deep in, but I don't know that they've seen too much more of this dungeon yet. Super Room in 5. Eat My Steel finds the wand and the Triforce in the same room.
Gotta love those rupee bosses, huh?
Yep, at least it didn't get Y-forced. It's always a threat if you have a rupee boss guarding a Triforce. That's enough for Eat My Steel, out we go.
Meanwhile, gets started on their second cards. Tells the mugger, "Hey, I want to keep my heart." While Zugman finds their Triforce in level 8.
8's a dungeon that might be big enough to persuade Zugman to come back later, especially with the flute in hand. It's not as important to really dig out the big dungeons. You just keep on progressing to Triforces, and you find items on the way, you're happy. Always a good time when the Wallmasters and the Red Wizrobes are the same health value. Red Wizrobes rolled quite a bit down. Wow, I'm pretty sure I heard the audio of the Wizrobe beam there, but did not fire off and kill Niminva, so gotta be happy that he didn't take the death there. Got a decent amount of dungeon knowledge as far as items go. We've yet to see the ladder or the bow. And I'm fairly certain at this point that the white sword item might be behind the raft. So that could be a little interesting twist. You're gonna find the raft and you're not gonna find it underneath the white sword item now, so it's gonna be useless. But you're still going to run into that in one of these dungeons, so it pushes a location for that raft onto one of the places you're going to have to dig to try and find what you actually need. Or I guess it can be required. I don't know why I'm thinking that way. The raft can get you your white sword item, which could actually lead you to bow or ladder, so it could become sequential in that situation. Beauty of races at 1 AM.
Zugman deciding to go back into level 8. Likely to see if he can find one of the items here.
This is a pretty brutal room for Niminva. Doesn't really have the ability to kill off these red keys freely. You have to really be careful at half a heart too, so he's spent a lot of bombs. And it will get him heart container number 10, but probably not what he wanted to see, and he's really not going to like what he sees in the room to the left if he hasn't gone that way already.
They actually have, yes.
I don't believe that it's ever really possible to get a cycle of this room to get through it without at least taking a candle fire.
That was just... ouch.
A little bit surprised we're bailing without the Triforce. Maybe looking for a blue ring shop just to be able to get through that a little bit easier. Am I still finding a bomb upgrade in level 6? A little bit too rich for him at this point, especially after that blue ring purchase. And, wow, this is fairly sizable 6, and it's kind of linear in specific parts. Could make it difficult to traverse this dungeon.
Dirty room 6, apparently.
Push block here. We found our item. It's the raft. I would be stunned if Emi still doesn't knock these checks out, although I don't know that he's absolutely eliminated all dungeons from exploration at this point, so perhaps not sure at this point if it's block he needs to find. This room on Zugman's side is such a fun time that he's going to bail out and take the transport out of it.
The man, but deciding not to pay the blocker at all, and decides to continue their exploration. Meanwhile, Zug finds a banana in level 8.
Yeah, it's questionable as to whether or not you pick it up. I think without the bow and wand, it's reasonable enough to go ahead and grab this now. It'll allow you to stun some things, potentially kill some things as well. And since you can use the recorder to despawn the main Dig Dogger and make it mini Dig Doggers, you can stun those too, so make killing those a little bit easier when we get to them.
And Nim, we have a blue ring with Nim as well.
Yep, so now just Zygmunt on the basic tunic. But Steel's really hoping to find this Triforce level 6 so he can escape. Looks like it's going to be in a semi-trolly spot, though. Wow. There's Magical Sword at 10.
Personally, I find no harm in always checking mags at 10. You never know. You might get lucky and get that 20% chance, and Nim decided to gamble and hit it.
So, we gotta look at it this way here. About 35 minutes into the seed, Nim has no wood sword, is struggling to find it. Everybody else has theirs. It's putting it behind, and then 10 minutes later, still a little bit behind, but now with Magical Sword, just going to tear through a lot of these enemies.
And Nim has a lot of knowledge, I believe, so this race is definitely not over yet.
Oh, he picked up the clock in this room, though. That's a nope. That's mistakes were made. Yep, looks like we did have a Triforce blocked by the ladder, so any hope of a ladderless seat is firmly thrown out the window at this point. Nim realizes he's probably going to have to spend the key to get into this room. Is it a super room in 7 as well? No, just a transport. That would have been something. No bomb, so unless this room drops us one in the corner, it's not going to be too helpful. Zugman's hopefully going to get through enough of this dungeon to find his wand. If he does that, he'll also find the Triforce. Meanwhile, Eat My Steel back into 4. It looks like we're going to find the bomb wall that works out in this dungeon. So we can pirouette the door across by just exiting and re-entering. It'll always pirouette the door across from you open. You could also climb the stairs and go back down to pirouette the wall north. And Nim, meanwhile, does decide I've had enough of this 7 since I already know where this Triforce is. Or 7 and 8 are what we have as potential locations for fun times. One more room for Zugman. Let's see if Zugman avoids the Y-Force here. Does. Good thing too. Now combat for Zugman has increased. It's actually a pretty level playing field as far as combat goes, as Nim gets the Triforce in 3 this time. And right behind is Zugman.
With their 6th Triforce piece of the night. Or wait, no, that's 5. Apologies. Wonders of races at 1 a.m.
Yeah, it'll get exciting here in a moment, though. Got a couple runners kind of evened up in terms of combat, and we got one with a slight advantage. So, in theory, Nim will kind of progress a little bit quicker through these dungeons, especially the Wizrobe dungeons, and we should see all 3 kind of catch up at some point here in the near future. Really interested to see who checks the raft spot first. Will it actually be the person with a raft currently? Or will somebody else dig the raft out of 6 and go right to him? Because if it's the bow or the ladder as the white sword item, it's huge. Even for some runners, the init key for Nim would be great. A red ring for Zugman would be great. White sword for either Zygmunt or Eat My Steel would increase their clear speeds as well. We might have an item in 4 here, though. And it's the ladder. Wow. So the ladder was left unrandomized for this seed. It's in its vanilla dungeon.
I mean, the coast spot isn't anything to write home about, but goodness knows that those dungeons are going to become a heck of a lot easier.
It looks like Zygmunt's going to go back in to find the ladder, hopefully. Does get the Triforce, so just missing 6 and 7's Triforce. Doesn't know it yet, but he will be blocked in 6 if he can't find it here.
That was their last bomb, though.
We do have a recorder, though, so if we want to go grab some bombs at the shop and come back, it won't take that long. Eat My Steel's going to go in this level 3, and it will put him into overworld exploration go mode. Would also put him into Mags mode, but I don't know that Eat My Steel is going to make that play unless it's somewhere really easy to get to. No, Nim picked it up, but I wasn't really paying attention as to where exactly Nim was, and they went ahead and up an aid right after getting it.
It was in the second cave of the southern coast.
Yes, you said something about that. I just, whatever, didn't mark it.
Eat My Steel getting pretty close, but decides to go check the power bracelet spot.
Not even sure if I remember seeing them make that journey down there. Thought it was Nim. Maybe Zygmunt? I would think if he knew that the magical sword was down there, he would have checked it while he was there. Looks like we may be getting a raft check here, though. Walking this way with a purpose. Gotta be careful around the Gibdo, though.
One heart, that might be a problem.
Made it. What do we got? Any key.
So there's our white sword item, and what a find that is. Keys are no longer a problem for Eat My Steel.
Yep, so strictly speaking, you can beat the seed without ever having a blocked dungeon. The only thing that was blocked in the seed that was potentially required was Wood Sword. Although, with how easy the hearts have been to come by, you may have been able to go swordless all the way up to Magical Sword. Zygmunt did not grab the ladder out of 4 before leaving because they were out of bombs. So they're in this level 6. Probably find all the stuff they need out of here outside the Triforce because again, that was ladder blocked. They do have a red potion though, so if they find themselves in a bit of trouble in this dungeon, they will be able to heal up if they decide to use their one of 2 charges. We find a map of 7. This is another rather interesting shape, as Nim finds the ladder in 4, same time that Zugman finds the raft in 6. He decides against the raft, presumably assuming that the white sword item is not going to help. Not the greatest of logic plays on Zugman's part, but it's not going to burn them in the end, except for the fact that they have 7 keys and could easily find their way down to 2 or 3.
Well, they're back in the room, but... Meanwhile, Eat My Steel getting there. Triforce from number 7.
Gonna guess that Eat My Steel is gonna hope that level 8 is the answer, just because I don't think he's even seen the boomerang out of level 8. So the interesting tidbit here is that Niminva's the furthest behind in terms of Triforce pieces. But if they make a dig into level 7 or level 8 for the item, and they find their bow, it's going to put them into go mode. So they'll be able to Triforce and go every dungeon from that point, and that would allow them to fly back into this. Looks like Eat My Steel is going to tidy up with the Triforce piece at level 6 that we could not obtain earlier because of a ladder block.
And the decides to pay to heart. Having mags though, I can understand that play.
Magical sword plus blue ring. The heart containers really aren't that vital to survival anymore. Zugman has the compass in the 7, may opt into bailing out for now, or may just continue searching out rooms now that they have the map. Meanwhile, Niminva's gonna find their way to the north of this 5 through the staircase, which I believe was the only way to really get up here and explore around. And it's fairly easy to see how this level 7 fits into level 8. Makes me think 9's not going to be that big, though. There's the 3rd mugger in level 8. You can bomb in. We also had to walk through the bait block already, I believe. I believe he came in from the north side of that room, so it's not required.
Now, one thing that's going to decide a lot in this race is whether the second item in level 8 is going to be the bow. Because if it is, that is going to put my steel at an advantage, I believe.
Yeah, at this point, you'd think Eat My Steel would full clear this 8, given we've seen so much of it, so... I think he's hard committed to this 8. I do think he's still in the lead in terms of just overall knowledge, though, so even if it's not in this 8, you'll know it's basically gotta be 7. This will be a race for both first and second. Keep in mind that second's equally important as the top 2 spots advance. Only the third is eliminated. And it's going to take 2 more matches to potentially decide that as Sigmund finds the Triforce in level 7. The last Triforce they need is ladder blocked, so they'll have to go back to 4 to be able to get to it. Here comes a bit of a redive from Zugman. White Sword in level 8. So we have both items in 8 now known. That means we're going to have everything known. Bow is at 7, Red Ring and Book at 9.
Decent pickups at 9, but we still have bow, so it'll be an interesting end to the race.
Don't think it'll take Eat My Steel much longer to find this either, so he's going to be heading back to 7 shortly as well. He has not found his Triforce here yet, though, so that would be the other thing he has to get, I think.
My Steel completing their Triforce. They only need the bow. They'll be ready for 9.
So where in this level 7 is the bow? It's gotta be fairly deep, I would think. Worth noting that Zygmunt's also found the ladder at this point. They made a quick redive back to 4. Nim's gonna find his raft in the 6, and may find the Iniki white sword item now. Looks like Nim is going to try to get the Triforce here out of this 2. Already has the item out of 2, so just trying to complete that Triforce and get to a scenario where he can enter level 9. Of course, finding the bow is still a requirement, but we can go ahead and look elsewhere for that. Probably going to look in level 1 next, because Nim has not seen the red candle. Followed by level 8, I would guess, just because it's got the potential for 2 items.
Six bomb pickup for Zug from the bomb upgrade there.
Yep, that could be a big factor in level 9 if it's a required route through a lot of bomb walls. So it looks like Minva's probably going to level 1 since it's at this crossroads spot here. To answer the question, chat, Zygmunt, I believe, has been into 6 already and said no to the raft, but we're going to have simultaneous bow pickups. This will send Eat My Steel level 9. Zygmunt's going to have to go back to 6 to get the Triforce, and then they'll be on the way to 9.
Zook deciding to pick up a red potion for 57. nice points for that.
Right, we have a little bit of a sync on Eat My Steel. That's going to make it a little bit delayed, but we're here for that roar still. We might have to listen through a dig dogger or some sort of boss if there's a roar from a random boss encounter in here versus Ganon next door. Rather surprised this 9 rolled up as high as it did on rooms. It's probably near maximum number between 7, 8, and 9. Looks like Nim, meanwhile, got their information on what was in level 1, so now looking to head to Triforce room.
Fighting the second bomb upgrade, but it's a little too expensive for what he's got. Unfortunate.
The longer it takes for Zugman to get into this Triforce room in 6, the more time it's going to Eat My Steel to clear level 9, and the more time it's going to give Minva to dig out this bow. He's gone back to level 7, so I'm not sure if he's potentially not marked 8's location yet, or is just trying to make a meta play at this point that the bow might be in here, since runners haven't finished. Find the book in level 9 first. Since we already have the map, though, it's absolutely worthless to pick up at this point. He might still will not be turning down the red ring should he stumble upon that.
Another thing that might play against Eat My Steel is that he's down to 1 bomb again.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but at least bombs are fairly cheap on the overworld, so it just requires you to leave and head back up there to be able to pick up some more bombs. Looks like Eat My Steel has second thoughts about the red ring. Nope did initially and said, wait a minute. Better take this just in case I need it. Nim finds the bomb upgrade in level 7 and has enough rupees to purchase it, so that'll give them a decent quantity of bombs. I think the big issue for Zugman catching Eat My Steel will be keys. At this point, one key is all that he has left.
Zug is the only player that doesn't have the RAF, so the any key is not in play for them.
Bombs on the floor, that's always fun for Eat My Steel. Nim has the bow, is in go mode, as Zugman now enters 9. Keep in mind, this level 8, the Triforce is only 2 or 3 rooms in at most. So if Nim finds the Triforce right away, they're going to be in 9 before anybody's even defeated Ganon.
And we always call level 9 the Great Equalizer. Who knows what can happen?
Nim lost level 8. It's over by the Armos here. I don't think he's lost. I think he just potentially mismarked which one of these screens it was. All we have to do is go to the south here. And we have Aurora for Eat My Steel. I believe it's the shutter door just to the right here. Just open is the Triforce, or maybe it's down, I forget. Somewhere right around here. As far as I noted, that was the beast found first across the 2 runners.
Nice stun lock there. And we've got bacon for Eat My Steel.
Meanwhile, Nim has found the Triforce in level 8, so all 3 runners are going to be in level 9. Seems to me like it's going to be up in this northeastern part. I don't think Eat My Steel has seen all the rooms up here yet. Trying to set up a count that's getting fireballed repeatedly, so that's ruining the count at about 2 or 3 each time. Nice force. We're back up to 4 bombs instead of being at 1. So now it's just a question of which bomb wall will open, if any. So will the lack of keys keep Zugman on the right path in this level 9 and allow them to catch up to Eat My Steel? Or will it be a detriment?
Is this the door, however? It is not.
No, but this definitely feels like the path. Maybe onto something up here. Maybe clearing for a compass find. No dice in this room. Yeah, we're gonna be in a situation where we're gonna have to start bombing some walls again. No in that room. Probably gonna be left in the Chevy if anywhere. Looks like another force incoming. Meanwhile, Nim is up in this area of level 9. This is where Emi still tried to bomb to earlier. There's a chance that Niminva could find the location of Zelda before Ganon. Ooh, we have a two-headed Gleeok. Guarding Zelda. Zelda is in the grid 2-2 basically, or just in the first E column, second row down.
This is going to be a very interesting finish.
So if Niminva could find the route to Ganon, they have the route to Zelda. So we'll Eat My Steel find that staircase route. Yes, Eat My Steel has Ganon down. He's the only runner with Ganon down right now. Zugman is also likely to find the route to Zelda. He's up in this area, but he only has one bomb and one key, so that's going to be potentially detrimental to Zugman finding the staircase he needs to find Zelda's room.
Meanwhile, Eat My Steel just up-aid and might be closing in.
I think he's been avoiding this staircase for quite some time. Was this a staircase we needed to look at? It looks like it could get you close. I still think there's another staircase required from here. Oh man, if Niminva goes up in this key door room, he'll be a couple rooms away from Ganon. Gotta burn the key, I think. Gotta try and go up. Bombing right does work. Unfortunately, for Eat My Steel, he did not find the correct wall to bomb to be able to find the staircase. I believe it's the right-hand staircase up there. I don't think Nim has a potion, so this could be deadly here. Yep. Will this force Niminva back on the route to Ganon?
I think this is the first race I've seen that has all three runners with a valid shot of winning this. However, Zook did run out of bombs.
Yeah, Nim just does not seem interested in going towards the center of this level 9. At any point, if Niminva goes to the center of level 9, should be able to hear the roar. Eat My Steel is down to 1 bomb as well. Come on, Niminva, you got a bomb to your right here, or potentially can walk there, I'm not sure. Switch back to Niminva real quick just to see when he hears the roar, which I think is now? Nope, got a bomb down somewhere in here.
They do have 9 bombs, though. Plenty of chances. Find the staircase.
Now this is the book, which we don't need. If I remember correctly, the red ring wasn't too far away from here as well. Looks like Zugman had to leave for bombs, so that's gonna set him back a little bit. Nim will not waste the bomb going to the left, as Eat My Steel is out of bombs, also leaving 9, who picks him up. So if Niminva bombs to the right here, I think we're gonna find the route to Ganon. Yep. Pretty sure this was the route. 1 room down or 1 room to the right. You'll hear the roar both ways, I think.
There it is.
Ganon's down. I believe no, Ganon's right. I'm mistaken. So now it just comes down to combating Ganon. Can you hit Ganon 4 times? Two hits in, 3 hits in. 1 more, got it.
Nim with the advantage knows where Zelda is.
Eat My Steel's gonna get back into 9, so is Zugman. Zugman has the longest to go to get to the finish line. Eat My Steel, in theory, could take the right staircase and take the bomb wall that they need.
Who's gonna have it first? This is gonna be close as heck, though.
Nim definitely has the path. Looking for a direct route. Was the direct route available? Not sure if it was. No, I don't think it was. I think we know that it isn't. So Eat My Steel is actually really close still. He needs to go up and to the right. He's actually closer. Oh, but he's going to take the staircase. If he had gone and bombed to the right, he tried to bomb up earlier. If he had bombed right, he would have found that right-hand staircase, which I believe is the required spot to go find Zelda.
And is it? Not quite.
No, but this is the staircase you need to take. This takes you over, I think, to the V column at the very top, and then you go left 1 room and the shutter door should pop. Well, no, I'm wrong, as usual, but close enough. With that, not even the vertical shoot control. Get your GGs out for Niminva. Comes back and wins race number 1.
Looks like the ending time is right around 1:29:30.
Good luck finding the compass, by the way. It was in Zelda's room all along. Meanwhile, Zugman now has found Zelda, so Eat My Steel is in danger of being the first to enter, last to leave. So now just a question of whether or not Zugman will find the potential bomb wall that he'll need to find to get to Gin. And yep, this staircase is the only way up there. There's no other way up there. And with that, I believe we are joined by Niminva. Congratulations on equalizing both Eat My Steel and Zugman and taking game 1.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster. I started off really slow and then suddenly just started picking up pace.
GG.
So yeah, you probably know this, but you were the last to Wood Sword, and you were also the first to Magical Sword.
I guarantee I was the last with sword.
What this came down to, though, was you went back to level 7 before, I think, seeing the items out of level 8. Is that correct?
Yeah, I thought I explored way more 7 than I had, so I went back to 7 thinking I only had about 5 or 6 rooms to explore, but it turned out to be the right move anyway.
Well, that led you on the path to finding the bow, whereas I think the other two runners both had to clear a good portion of level 8 to find the magic boomerang. Or not the magic boomerang, the wooden boomerang. The magic boomerang was on the coast, of course. And then the white sword, I think, was just a few rooms away from the starting room, but nobody went that direction off the start.
Yeah, I got lucky in it. I walked a little circle, but I pretty much went right to the Triforce.
So now, I think in the last 20 minutes or so, Eat My Steel has just not bombed that one wall to that one staircase that leads you to Zelda. Although he's back in the room he needs to bomb in. And he's going to bomb it this time, so now we're going to have a second place finish. But yeah, I think you were behind into 9 by, I want to say, probably 5 or 6 minutes at minimum over Zugman, and probably 8, maybe 9 minutes on Eat My Steel.
Wow, I didn't know I was going to be that far behind into 9. Just to be able to pull that off, that's pretty good. I mean, Steel's a good player. And I've never actually played Zigma before, but it was pretty. I mean, I got lucky. I found Zelda quickly, and then I got lucky. I heard the roar and got right around and got in there.
GG's out for Eat My Steel, finishes second place, just a handful of minutes behind Niminva. So this is race 1. It's we put ourselves in good positions here with these first and second place finishes, although I'm sure if Eat My Steel has not collected his thoughts, he's got words about this level 9.
We're actually joined by Eat My Steel as we speak. GG's.
Thank you. GG, man. Way to get through that dumb thing. Good
GG's. That was an interesting seed.
Yep, so as we've told Niminva, well, we'll go ahead and give the full story. I think Zugman found the recorder blocked wood sword first, probably about 15 minutes in the seed. It took another 10, I want to say, for Eat My Steel to find it. I think the last location for you, and then Nim had the wood sword at 35. From there, Nim got the first combat upgrade for swords with magical sword at 10 at 45 minutes. So literally only 10 minutes on wood sword for Nim. And from there, I think Niminva was, I think, at 1 or 0 Triforces, whereas everybody else was at 4, 5, maybe 6 Triforces. And it was game on combat-wise, and suddenly the seed opened up for Nim. And He got it back down to about a 7 or 8 minute disadvantage entering 9. Found Zelda before Eat My Steel, as I guess is pretty obvious, and then was a search for Ganon. Whereas Eat My Steel, I think, right ordered directly to Ganon within probably the first 5 or 6 minutes. It wasn't like a direct right order, but it wasn't a bad way. And it was just a question of who would find what first. And that was where the fun began for everybody watching, but not for the two running, perhaps.
Yeah, that last room that I found, that last stair, that was literally my last possible bomb hole in 9. The last possible room that stair could have been in, so I full cleared everything before I got to that one room.
Yeah. It looked like you tried to bomb up when you initially went in the staircase room that leads you to that little segment with the 2 staircases, and then you just didn't bomb right. You instead went through the staircase, that reverse C instead. Had you bombed right there, you would have sniped Nim probably by about 20 seconds, as I think Nim was about 20 seconds behind as they went to check the direct route to the northwest corner, which didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, I when I was going through there, I thought, as I did the first bomb, I was like, well, let's hope this opens, and I'll duck my head in, because I was planning on going back down towards the bottom anyway. Like, I was planning on doing that whole lower part. So I was like, I'm going to do one bomb here, and then I thought about doing the second one. I was like, no, I want to save my bombs for down below. It's just, like, it's not this one room. It couldn't be. Yeah, weighed heavy on my mind.
Yeah, Zugman found a key, which was the only thing stopping him from getting to Ganon, so now burn the key to open the key door. Unfortunately, it's everybody's favorite room for Ganon fighting. Yeah, according to Chad, it was an 8 minute 50 seconds behind disadvantage for Nim entering 9. And he turned that into a 5 minute victory, or 4.5 minute victory, it appears. So, made up a ton of time in 9.
8 minutes 50 seconds behind going in. Win by 4 minutes 31 seconds officially.
It's one of those where you're really going to have to watch it back to do it justice. Minva will see exactly what everybody else saw, which was an incredible comeback and equalizer of a 9. But for the longest time, we thought Eat My Steel had a sizable lead. Zugman closed in on you a little bit when you last location the bow. But other than that, they didn't have the Triforce out of 6 because they had to go back as well with the ladder in hand later. So still gave you a small advantage in the 9.
Just, yeah, that's the story of the seed right there. Just last location, everything I possibly could. You know, took the gamble out. Let's go to 8. Let's dig all the items out of 8. Nope, it's back in 7. Then same thing in 9. Same thing with the wood sword. You know, last possible location on the overworld. That was everything. So just not breaking my way there. So
yeah.
Yeah, I last location wood sword too. I did everything. I did everything on the overworld except for West Death Mountain. Oh, and the raft spots.
yeah, I did get the any key on the one raft spot because I knew that the white sword item had to be the blocked thing. So I wanted to see what that was before I dug for bow.
Wasn't one of the levels blocked?
I don't think so. I think it was just
Maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention.
it was just recorder for wood sword, and then yeah, the raft spots. The only one I checked was the one that had the any key in it, and I think I checked one power bracelet spot right next to start. That was
I wasn't paying attention that we got the flute off of the Armos, so I didn't think about the sword being under the lake.
Get your GGs out in chat for Zugman, finishing 3rd tonight.
Yeah, looking back at the seed overall, while combat wasn't necessarily free, I feel like the bosses in the blue wizrobe rooms weren't directly impeding your progress too much with this seed. They were there, and they could potentially hurt you in finding, I guess, the red candle in one, and maybe a bit of a nuisance in another dungeon. But other than that, I feel like it gave you a fairly free dungeon setup.
Yeah, I actually felt like everything was going pretty smooth for the most part as far as getting through everything. I didn't really have any problems with that. Yeah, everything went fairly decently as far as that all went. It's just, last location, everything.
Yeah, I got the items out of 2 and 3 without a wood sword.
So instead of throwing a real big combat puzzle at you, it throws the which order is the correct order puzzle. In this case, it was a tricky bow location in 7, and really just, I feel like it was just wrong order dungeon more than anything to 4, because it seemed like the ladder wasn't too awful to get to in there. So I don't think anybody had that first time around. I think everybody went into 4, kind of putzed around or saw a couple rooms in there. Maybe my steel got there late, but even still, it just seemed like nobody made it to 4 and actually took the time to get in there fully because they didn't have sword in Nim's case, or Zugman just kind of bailed on it.
Yeah, the first time I was up there, I didn't have bombs, so I was late getting up to 4, so I was... But went back there, I found everything out of there. But yeah, it was just... That was a late location for me.
Alright, well, with this result, Minva's going to go into Game 2 with a point lead over Eat My Steel and 2-point lead over Zugman. Zugman's going to have to do a little bit of work in this Game 2. Can't really afford another third-place finish. If he does, he'll have to have the time be pretty solid, because I think the tiebreaker would then be time, and he would have to win the last race to be able to potentially have any shot of advancing on. So, 2 runners in the booth are the 2 runners currently in the driver's seat, but anything can change with the next 2 games.
Yeah, just like going into that 9, if I was 8 minutes ahead, you could just see anything can happen right at the end of the game. So, yeah, anybody's alive.
Great equalizer, right?
100%.
Thank you to all the commentators and the trackers and the restreamer for doing this. It was late night. I wasn't expecting a restream, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, we're happy to provide, especially with a race like this and how it kind of came down to the wire with all 3 runners in 9 having either one piece or the other at given points in time.
Thank you to the runners as well, and also thank you to Magic Friends, who was our tracker for tonight's race.
Yep, Magic Friends was definitely pressing all the buttons behind the scenes, trying to keep up with 3 runners now instead of 2 is added challenge. So it's definitely nice to have somebody keeping out, watching all 3 screens for us and make sure to keep everybody up to date there.
Tracking is definitely harder than it looks.
With that, though, any final thoughts? As I think it's probably time for some of us to get to bed. I know Zugman's off to do his daily chores as he's over in Europe.
Can't wait till Thursday night.
Yeah, no, just thanks, guys. It was fun seeing till 9.
All right, well, Moonrisen, first commentary, how'd it go for you?
Pretty darn good, and had a great race to commentate.
Well, look forward to seeing you around in a couple more races, doing some more commentary and tracking, but for now, I think it's time we go to bed. So, on behalf of SpeedGaming, on behalf of Eat My Steel, Naminva, and Zugman for racing such a good race, my co-commentator Moonrisen Phoenix, trying to talk that fast this late, goodness. Magic Friends tracking. I'm Furious K. We'll see you tomorrow with some more Zelda 1 Randomizer action here on SpeedGaming.
As far as races go, tomorrow, or rather later today, we have 2 races. One at 3 p.m. and the other at 10 p.m. Speed Gaming channels are still, we don't know where they will be, but info will be readily available in the near future.